Drink water. Don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Okay.
Now you're more fluent.
He got free!
Up, Bears.
So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Yes. It is 6 degrees north, and Jalen's not here. Now, we might have some surprise guests. You never know who's going to show up. But we're still going to go ahead with what we promised we were going to do. So we're going to watch the fourth quarter. Today's game 1. So fourth quarter of the Cavs versus Magic series from 2009. Was it LeBron? Was he LaFold? Was he the reason the Cavs couldn't make it past them, even though they had a 66-win season, the number 1 seed in the NBA, were favorites to win that series? We're going to dive into game 1 today. We're going to invite you guys up as well, since Jalen's not here. I need someone to talk to. So we'll throw the link in a minute. And basically what we're going to do is over the next 6 weeks, we're going to watch every fourth quarter and break down what happened. Now, we'll start by giving the full stats for the game, give our opinions once Jalen is here in the following weeks, hear from you guys and what you guys think. And see, I knew Jalen wasn't going to show either, because once we start getting into actual watching games, Jalen pretended he's at a bachelor party apparently. We'll see. But first, before we get into watching the game, so we're going to watch the game, going to hear from you guys, going to have you guys come up, and I'll tell you my opinions, and we'll go through some of the stats and give you some of the insight. But we got to give you some sports news. I don't know that this is really sports news, let's be honest. But there's some interesting things that I found throughout the week that just I don't know, man, made me question things. So Tyreek Hill says he would beat Noah Lyles in a race. Well, then race him. That's the fastest man in the world. And I know that not everybody loves Noah Lyles because of his personality. Not everybody loves Noah Lyles because of his personality. However, when you win the 100-meter, when you win the gold medal in the Olympics or whatever the world championship is that year, you take that crown of the world's fastest man. It's not the 200, it's not the 400, it's whoever wins the 100-meter. That has been historically what we've done, what we've said. That has been, whether you approve or disapprove of the narrative, that has been the narrative. That's the fastest man in the world. Tyreek Hill is not in the Olympics. If he wanted to run in the Olympics, he's super fast. Don't get me wrong. But does anyone think, listen, I bet you Tyreek Hill would beat Noah Lyles in a race on a football field with pads on, because that's a completely different thing. But if you're going on the track, 100-meter, lane 4, lane 5, don't kid yourself, man. Don't kid yourself, Tyreek. And listen, I'm probably still going to draft you in my fantasy team, but that ain't happening. The next one is my favorite. Is my favorite person, as you guys know, from the world of sports, who came up with a trade. This just recently, because he wants to get his boy. He wants to get his boy some more rings.
Shut your damn mouth.
Nick Wright has proposed a trade to get Steph Curry. I know this is a little old, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it. Get Steph Curry and LeBron James to San Antonio to play with Victor Wembanyama. How desperate, how much talent, how many stars do you need around you to fulfill this legacy that Nick Wright admittedly says is more important than anything, right? If you're watching the Olympics, he said LeBron James's legacy is more important to me than Team USA. So here's the trade. He's suggesting. Oh, let me put the. Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Let me put the link in here in case anyone, because we're gonna start watching. We're gonna start watching the game here in about 1 minute. The Spurs receive LeBron James and Steph Curry. Oh, they better be getting a haul, right? Lakers receive Johnson, Barnes, and San Antonio's first round pick in 2027 and 2031 for Minnesota. So basically, Johnson, Barnes, and 2 future first picks in a million years. The Warriors get Vassell, Collins, and what's this? 2027 first round pick from Atlanta. That's actually not a bad one. And the 2030 for. If you were to trade one of those guys for all of those guys, people would say you were crazy. They'd say you were crazy, but you want to get both of those guys and each team getting half of that haul. Is just like, did you not watch the Olympics? Both LeBron James and Steph Curry still have 2 to 3 like superstar years left. That's like no question about it. So anyways, I just thought that was interesting. This is a ridiculous trade. So let's get into why we're here. It's to watch. Game 1 of the Cavs versus Magic 2009. So first, like I said, first we're going to go through the stats. So while I pull up the stats, please enjoy a video interlude. Triple Eight. Everything is about moments. There you go. So here, check this out. So game 1. So this is what we're gonna watch. We're gonna watch the fourth quarter. Watch the fourth quarter of game 1. However, just to recap for those that don't remember, the Cleveland Cavaliers are the home team. They have a 66 win season. They're the number 1 seed in the NBA. They lose game 1, 107-106. Now, I'm not going to tell you about how I feel about the fourth quarter because we're going to watch it, and I'll share that with you as we go through it. However, just some highlights of the stats. Kind of huge game from both Rashard Lewis and Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard goes 14 of 20, 70% from the field. They had no answers for him. 2 for 2 from the free throw line. 13 rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds. 13 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, no blocks, which is kind of interesting. 3 turnovers, 30 points. Rashard Lewis goes 9 of 13. That's 69.2%. So 2 guys, almost both shooting around 70% from the field. He goes 3 of 4 from 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw line. Also adds 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 turnovers for 22 points. So those are kind of your 2 big performances from the Magic. On the Cavalier side, really the only one who had a game, although every single starter does score in double digits, which typically is a good sign. But it's LeBron James. He goes 20 of 30. 30 field goal attempts, though. I guess if you're hitting 67% of them, you keep shooting them, but 30 field goal attempts, that's a lot. So 20 of 30, 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 10 from the free throw line. 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Just keep that in mind, because in a 1-point game, you're shooting 6 of 10. I'm going to save my comments till the end, till after we've watched the third quarter. Also grabs 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks, 2 turnovers. Pretty good turnover game for him. 49 total points, by the way, for LeBron James in that game. Some things of note. Anderson Varejao was having, obviously most of his shots are dunks and layups on fast breaks, but he went 6 of 8. Obviously, Delonte West and Mo Williams combining for 10 of 32, right? 30%, 31% from the field. That's the thing that killed them. So why do I bring up the statistics before we watch the fourth quarter? Is because there's certain stats I want you to kind of pay attention to and remember how this conversation started. AAA, please put in the private chat kind of where you want to join in, because I sent out the link and I see that you jumped in. So here's the thing. This all started because JJ Redick and LeBron James put in their podcast and said there was nothing the Cavs could have done to win this series. They were completely outmatched. They completely outmatched the Cavs. And they went on to say, they had a player like Jameer Nelson who could shoot threes off the bounce. And that really unlocked the offense. And that was really the difference. However, all of us who actually watched the series, JJ Redick even actually said he rewatched the series just a few days earlier, which I thought was hilarious, because those of us that paid attention even for 5 seconds know that Jameer Nelson was hurt from February 2nd. So he didn't even play their last 2 meetings in the regular season, let alone in the playoffs. He missed everything after the All-Star break. February 2nd was his last game. Now, he did play a little bit in the finals, but had nothing to do with the Cavs versus Magic in the second half of the season or in the playoffs. And they used him as he's the big one. So their starting lineup did not include, even though they tried to make you think that they did, all-star point guard Jameer Nelson. The starting lineup was Rafer Alston, Courtney Lee, Hedo Turkoglu, Rashard Lewis, and Dwight Howard. Which, if you really look at what should have happened, right? Delonte West, Mo Williams, LeBron James, Anderson Varejao, and Big Z, with Joe Smith, Wally Zerbiak, Ben Wallace, and to a lesser extent, Daniel Gibson coming off the bench. They were not completely outmatched. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, in game one, when they say, well, there was nothing this isn't about LeBron James. Let's be very clear. They said there was nothing the Cavs could have done to win that game. And before we even get into watching the fourth quarter, will say that's BS, because if Delonte West and Mo Williams hit their shots like they did all season long, right? They shot in game one, they shot 37 and 25% from 3. For the season, both of them 40%. So if they just hit their threes like they had been all game, this is actually a blowout. If LeBron James hits his free throws, they lose by 1. James misses 4. He goes 6 of 10, well below league average, well below his average. If he hits his free throws, again, it's a different game. It's a different game. So when someone comes out on a podcast, himself with someone, and says, well, there was nothing the Cavs could have done. Really? So let's watch the fourth quarter, because there's something very, very important that I noticed when I rewatched it. So let's kick it off. Let's go right in here. I don't know. Listen, this may or may not work. Let's fingers crossed. So at that point in the fourth quarter, Rashard Lewis was already 6 of 10, was already having a game, right? So let's see who steps up. What superstar steps up and guards him when it matters? Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, it was early on in the first quarter, but the Cavaliers were up huge in this game. So again, when JJ Redick and LeBron say there was nothing that they could do, AAA in the building. When they say there was nothing they could do, well, you had a huge lead. Your two guys, your two perimeter players in Delonte West and Mo Williams shot horribly. So you weren't completely outmatched. There was something you could have done. Correct?
I mean, it's a lot they could have done. I mean, all that, and if you tell me before the game starts that you're gonna be 84, 85 with 10 minutes left, and you got LeBron James on your team, I think you're gonna win that every time.
I think we're gonna win that every time too.
Every single time. I think but again, that's what I said. That's the separator. Sometimes it's just the moments, man. You can have them, but if they're not on the bigger the stage, the better the moment. And right now, he could have capitalized on that, but you let these ones slip out of your hand. These are little things that change the narrative in the GOAT debate. The moment. Hit your free throws. The one thing that I would say his weakness is they end up biting him in the ass. And that was a big game.
So let's fast forward a little bit here. You don't need to see the timeouts. So let me ask you a question. If Rashard Lewis, and I'm going to say this a couple of times in this fourth quarter, if Rashard Lewis is clearly the one having a great game, why is LeBron your best defender, right? Would you agree that LeBron's the best defender on the Cavs at this point?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
And that's a direct matchup, right? Or was it Petrus?
He's guarding Hedo Turkoglu.
Oh, okay. That's a direct.
He's guarding Turkoglu. And look, Turkoglu, it's not like Turkoglu was having a bad game. He went, but you could say LeBron caused him to have a bad game. He went 4 of 11, which is fine. But in your game plan, now some people might blame this on Mike Brown, but he's allowing Rashard Lewis to heat up. Now Turkoglu is nowhere near the athlete of LeBron, but Rashard Lewis is more athletic. So why not switch off whoever you have covering Rashard Lewis and put him on Turkoglu? But let's keep going. Does that, just out of curiosity, I know it sounds like I'm picking on LeBron, but did that look like a pass first player who's trying to get his teammates involved? Just curious.
I still don't know how Dwight wasn't top 75 for this run alone.
Say that again.
I don't understand how Dwight wasn't top 75 just from this run alone.
Yeah, Dwight needs to be top 75. Yeah, that's there's easy 5 guys that are probably in the top 75. It might be 10 guys, but for sure 5 who are there just because they were in the top 50, but shouldn't have even been in the top 50.
And in that year, they were predicting that LeBron and Kobe would be in the chip. That's another reason why it was so big, because he stopped all that from happening. He kind of changed history. If they lose this and the Lakers and the Cavs end up meeting in the finals,
Oh yeah, it's complete. But see, that actually hurts. That actually hurts. That hurts LeBron because the Cavs will lose to the Lakers.
This is why, again, these stats overshadow the moments. They'll tell you 38, 8, and 8, but won't see 2-minute game he's supposed to take home, and he doesn't finish it.
This is the problem right here. Hito would he? The Cavs power forward up also. Really? Well, why not switch him off? When Rashard Lewis gets hot, switch him out. That's what you do. You don't just keep going if it's not working.
And even with all those issues, you still got a 1-point game right now. That's what confuses me when people say this stuff. It's like, no matter how bad you played or how good you played, it's still a 2-point game with a minute left.
Oh wait, it's gonna get worse. I was ready for Jalen to come in and watch this, because again, people are gonna look at the stats and say LeBron James. And again, I'm not blaming. Let's be very, very clear what we're discussing, right? Be very clear about what we're talking about. LeBron James is not what we're talking about, other than what he and JJ Redick said, which was there was nothing the Cavs could do to beat the Magic. They were just completely outmatched. That is a direct quote. There was nothing the Cavs could do because they were completely outmatched. So in game 1, right, people will look at the stats and say, well, what more do you want LeBron James to do? He scored 49 points. And you're right. He played amazing. He scored 49 points. But let's look at a 1-point loss when you shoot 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Is there something they could do? Well, I've already mentioned it prior to watching this. I said there is something they could do. Delonte West and Mo Williams could have made their shots like they did all seasons, like they did all playoffs long. But listen, it's a 1-point game. It's going to get down to the last few seconds, the last few possessions. Let's see. Did I kick you out? Or did you drop out because you had something to do? Oh, froze. You had to come back. Okay. If you freeze again, just put it in there. I'll drop you out. Let me know when you're ready. All right, let's get back to the game. No comment, but I get it. He's challenging Dwight Howard, but how great would it have been if, he had like a mid-range jumper once he beat his man, if he just pulled up inside that free throw line for a little jumper. But anyways, that's a different conversation. we're at a tie game with 5 minutes left. Okay, tie game. The team that had the number one record in the NBA, the Cavs, versus the Magic, and we were told there was nothing the Cavs team could have done to beat this team. They were completely outmatched. And unlike JJ Redick and LeBron told you, Jameer Nelson, great shot there. Jameer Nelson, one of the few shots Hito made that night. Jameer Nelson, the all-star point guard who could hit threes off the bounce, is not playing in this game. He is not in this game. He had been hurt since February 2nd. There was nothing they could do. How about make some shots? How about Cleveland making some shots? 4 of 13 in the fourth quarter? So really nothing they could do? I'm letting it go and just kind of making comments as we go through because there's stuff that you can see here, right? Like it's easy to say, wow, right? Phenomenal play by LeBron James. Let's be very clear. I am not suggesting that this is completely LeBron James's fault. He scored 49 points. He averaged 38 and 8 in the series. But when you, as LeBron James, comes out and your new coach, JJ Redick, says there was nothing the Cavs can do, I said, absolutely there is. I said, let's watch the games and see if there was something that they could do. And Jalen said, no, there's nothing they could do. There's nothing that they could do. And now he was unable to show up today, but we're still gonna watch. We're still gonna watch. LeBron is a beast. 100% he's a beast. However, when we talk about a pass first guy who like gets his team involved and makes them better, driving in 1-on-5 is not that. Let's watch that again, actually, here, because I want to show you something. Hedo Turkoglu's not having a game. You know who is having a game? Rashard Lewis. So who's guarding? The question is who's guarding Rashard Lewis and why isn't it LeBron James? First two rounds, the Cavaliers held their opponents to 78.1 points per game. 95 points scored. That's crazy. 71.78. Do you think the East was weak? Conversation for another day. Gave up 95 tonight. They were allowing 40% from the field. The Magic in game one shot 54%. They were plus 10 in the first two rounds, minus 3 in game one. Points in the paint. Now, a lot of that has to do with Dwight Howard's 30, but they had been giving up 27 points per game. So again, when we say what could they have, they couldn't have done anything. They were completely outmatched. Keep watching and find out. Yeah. Right, we're down to the final 2 minutes. Cavs are down 3. Are they completely outmatched with no shot? Yeah, I'm gonna beat that. I'm gonna beat that false narrative home. I'm gonna beat that false narrative that they had no chance. Four of 7. 4 of 7 from Toronto.
This is when I always say when I talk to you and chill. This is when I don't care about the stats. I need you to win, even if you were shooting horrible all game. I need you to find
Now,
a
right there. There's the problem right there. With under 2 minutes left, you're down by 3. You're missing free throws. You can't do that. You can't. Now, what I need to ask, right? What I need to ask is this a bad matchup for the Cavs? Should have put in another small forward to switch with LeBron and Hito and Rashid. Well, they had the guys like right there. That's Anderson Varejao making a stupid play, leaving his feet against Tito Turkoglu. But you have now. This might be Mike Brown, but if LeBron James is the coach, right? Again, he should be asking when you're seeing that Rashard Lewis is cooking you, you switch off and you cover him. But instead, he stays on Hito Turkoglu, the easier matchup, right? And they have 6'1" Mo Williams. You can see it right at the top of the screen. 6'1" Mo Williams guarding 6'11" Rashard Lewis. So when you say there's nothing the Cavs could have done to win this game, could win this series. Come on, you're being so disingenuous, JJ Redick. You're being so disingenuous, LeBron James. You don't have a 6'1" player on Rashard Lewis who's having a great game. He's knocking down shots. Well, of course he is because he's shooting right over Little Mo. He's shooting right over Little Mo. Great passing. See, every single time LeBron James drives into the lane, 3 guys drop on him. And in the last 3 possessions, you saw him try to go up and do it himself. That possession, he dishes to Ilgauskas, excuse me, and Ilgauskas is a great passer for a big man, makes the extra pass for an easy layup. That's what this team needed to do. So when you say there's nothing you do, that's what they could have done.
Down 2, under a minute left.
Watch this play. Kicks it out into the corner, wide open 3. Bam. They now have the lead with 40 seconds left. Tell me again how there was nothing the Cavs could do to win this series. And we're going to watch every fourth quarter for the next 6 weeks. You can go do your homework. For those that watch this, see this later, they're now up 1. 40 seconds to play. There's another thing that's going to happen here that you're going to see in a second.
This is when LeBron should guard Rashard Lewis.
This is where LeBron exactly why I've been setting up the whole fourth quarter. This is exactly where you need to make some changes. Now, Ilgauskas is going to get cooked by Howard. We know that. That's why he's laying off him, because Howard can't shoot. Right? You also know that about Dwight Howard. He can't shoot. So now you got Mo on Rafer, and Ilgauskas having to kick out to Rashard Lewis. That's just horrible defense. That's a bad switch. That's a bad defensive set. I don't know how the hell LeBron made that shot, but that's what he should be doing, is attacking Dwight Howard, because guess what just happened?
Fouled out.
Number 6 on Dwight Howard. So not only are you now at the line, up 1, you got their best player, the defensive player of the year that year, out of the game for the last 25 seconds. So the guy that was cooking you down low, clearly, in Dwight Howard, is out. LeBron James is going to step up here. He's at this point, he's 5 of 9 from the free throw line. Okay, so makes that one, and he ends up 6 of 10. You're now up 2 points with 25 seconds to play. Who has been the hot hand the entire game and in the fourth quarter? Has been Rashard Lewis. So who should be guarding Rashard Lewis? You're going to live with who? Hedo Turkoglu? Because there really isn't anybody else. There's Michael Pietrus. He hasn't been having a game. Rafer Arlston is not Jameer Nelson. It's and who's that? Gortat going in. So really, you have 2 guys to guard. You have Hedo Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis that you're worried about, because let's not forget, you're up 2. You're up 2. So the only thing you can't do is give up a 3.
Hey, I've been wanting to get at you too. I think if my man Rafer plays in the finals and they don't bring Jameer in, I think they still lose to the Lakers, but I think we might get 6 or 7 out of it.
Yeah, I think bringing Jameer in, who hadn't played since February 2nd, that's a tough to have someone come in and do that in the finals.
On that big stage.
Yeah. Notice that wasn't LeBron James on Rashard Lewis.
On Turkoglu.
He was on Turkoglu. He took the easier matchup. I'm sorry. Hedo Turkoglu at that point was not in a rhythm. He wasn't. I already went through the stats with you. For the game, he was 4 of 11. Rashard Lewis was 9 of 13. If you're the best defender, you take the hot hand. In the fourth quarter, Hedo Turkoglu was 2 of 4. Granted, that was because LeBron was guarding him for the fourth quarter. I'm giving you that he was 2 of 4 because LeBron guarded him. But when you know that you have a guy who's cold, because you've been doing a good job on all game, and you're down to 25 seconds left, and there's a guy who, by the way, at that point was 4 of 4, 1 of 1 from 3, but 4 of 4, he hadn't missed a shot. Give him a different look. I'm the best defender. I'm 6'9". I'm going to go give him because let's be honest, when you're comparing athleticism, Vergeot is significantly less athletic than LeBron. But guess what? Turkoglu is also less athletic than Rashard Lewis. So you put the more athletic LeBron James on the guy who hasn't missed a shot the whole damn quarter, who's been hot all game, and you switch that off and you put Verjo, whoever on Turkoglu for one possession when there's 25 seconds left. So when we say there was nothing they could have done, there was 100 things they could have done. One, they could have made their damn shots, Delonte West and Mo Williams, right? And they could have done a better job of defensive assignments. But hold on, there's still another chance. They still got 14 seconds left, down by 1. So what I'd like to see in this situation, you're down by 1, so you don't need a 3, right? So if I'm a coach, what am I saying? Hey, the ball's going to be in LeBron's hands. LeBron, I want you can, Dwight Howard's not in the game, so you can get inside anytime you want. And all we need is a bucket. All we need is a 2. We don't need a 3. And that's the game. And why is it the
Saw
game?
the ball again.
What's that?
Never saw the ball again once he gave it up.
Well, I'm
saw the ball
sorry.
again.
If you know basketball, let me mute this for a second. I'm going to play it again. Look what he does. So I had the fortune of seeing Kobe break down some of these plays as well. And he's like, it's about angles. He puts himself into a position. Okay, watch this drive. He puts himself into a position where he has no other option but to pass. Okay, watch. He gets it at the top of the key. Right there. It's spread 1-4. Typical. That's what you should do. Okay, the key is wide open for him. Look where he goes. His man goes down and he keeps driving. Why? Why are you still driving? Why are you still going when your man's on the ground here? Let's go back to it again. If we can. I hope I didn't go too far. Yeah, I think I did. Oh, way too far. Doodle-doodle-doo. One stop. Yeah, one stop. Here we go. Watch the drive again. I'm going to keep playing it. But you can, I muted it, so you can make your comments if you want. This is the 3 again. Verjo on Lewis. Right? Like Verjo could have done exactly what Lewis shouldn't be touching that ball again. But anyways. There it goes. At 2045. Okay, at 2045. Here we go. So I'll try and pause it here when I get it here. Dwight Howard has fouled out. So you have this open. They spread the floor as they should. You got 3 on the baseline, 1 here on the wing. Now, this is what I'm talking about. So LeBron drives right. Right there, his man falls. Okay? So you know where everyone's coming from. Right here. 1, 2, 3. They're all collapsing in right here on the rim. Instead of making either the short pass here or stopping, okay, he drives into a position right there. What's he going to do there? What else is he going to do but pass at this spot? Right? That's my point. Is that if you are trying, your guys are not making shots. And I get it. Some people argue with me and say, well, you got to have faith in your teammates and blah, 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 blah. Your teammates in the fourth quarter, Delonte West was 1 of 4. Mo Williams was 2 of 5. Verjo was 2 of 2. And Ilgauskas was 1 of 3. You, as LeBron James, are 4 of 6. Who do you want taking that shot? I'm sorry. This is not a GOAT debate conversation. But again, let me recap for the 100th time. This is about could the Cavs have done anything to win this game? Well, when you lose a game by 1 point and you had that kind of shooting numbers that I just told you, 100% there was something you could have done. But this is my point about LeBron. People are going to say this was the right play. At this point where he's here and this guy's on the ground and you have this help defender here, Yes, it's the right play to make the pass. But that's because you put yourself in that position with 9 seconds left. He didn't have to drive that early. He didn't. There's still way too much time on the clock. Okay? He drives baseline and he throws this pass from the baseline to the top. Why not just throw it here to the corner? Yeah, and again, and I'd give it right back to him. But he throws it out here knowing there's nowhere else to go, but either he's going to have an open shot right here, I believe that's Mo Williams, or kick it here to Delonte West in the corner. Now, if that was the play that was drawn up, that's horrible play calling by Mike Brown, horrible execution in the sense that I don't want Delonte West, who's 1 of 4 in the fourth, taking a game-winning shot for 3 when all I need is a 2. All I need is a 2. And there it is. Now, it's interesting. He takes that shot, but again, he's LeBron's actually pretty open. There's still 7 seconds left. Why are we rushing this? Like, if I may, just this should have gone right back to LeBron. But again, he's driving with 11 seconds left. Even if his guy doesn't fall and LeBron gets to the basket, well, just play hypotheticals with me for a second. Let's say he doesn't fall and he gets to the basket. Okay, let's say he's able to drive to the basket and score right there. Okay, because his man didn't fall and he got to the basket. You're leaving 9 seconds on the clock for a team that's been shooting the lights out in the second half and in the fourth quarter of a game? No. It all starts this whole game was lost because when you have 14.7 seconds left, you drove to the basket after 3 seconds. He took it off, so he takes off too early. He drives into triple coverage. Now, it was unfortunate that the man defending him fell. But he drives into triple coverage, gives him absolutely no other opportunity, no other play but to pass. He makes a long pass to the top of the key. They swing it to Delonte West. With 9 seconds left, why are we shooting that? So again, this is not against LeBron James. I'll say that for the 20th time. He scored 49 points, but he did not make the right play. This was not the right play, and it's not the right play from right here. And I'm going to play it one more time, and then I'm going to shut it down. Right here. You got a Petrus is on. Yeah, Petrus is on him. You have a full shot clock. Look at how this offense is spread. Okay? If I'm a coach, where am I telling you to go? Am I telling you to drive here where the crowd is? No, right here. Look at this. Look at all this beautiful open real estate. Right. Wait. Now, why are you going? Wait. There comes the double. So now you have to go. Okay. Here comes the double from this side. So he does the right thing there and goes. But again, that's not even a double. Gortat is so out of position. Why you don't need to drive this here? This is where they want you to go. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders if you go there. Right? Does he have time right there? Or when he falls? Maybe I could take a step back. Maybe that's my opportunity for a step back right here. Or again, I still have 10 seconds on the clock. I don't need to go into this disaster of a mess. I can pull right here. All I need is a 2. They played for a 3. Right? Why does he continue to go? It's not like he had momentum going. He didn't have momentum going there. That's an opportunity right back here a second ago, and I don't know how much I'm going to be able to go back a little. I went too far. I'm probably beating a dead horse. I don't know. AAA, if you feel I'm overdoing it.
No. I'm just analyzing it too.
right there. He falls for this. That's a fake. You can see him. He's already backpedaling. Stop right there. Stop right there. You think, what's Gortat going to do? He can't stay with you. Where are you going? Again, I'm going to say it for the last time, and then I'm going to shut it down, I promise. Even if he scores, even if Pietrus doesn't fall, he drives past him and scores, you're leaving them with 9 seconds. Back up. I know he knows how to pull back. Pull back. No, I'm going to keep going. And then shame on all of these guys because there's again, now 7 seconds left when he takes that shot. Big Z here should be cutting right here. LeBron James is wide open again, right? Like there's so many things that are still available. Delonte West wants to shoot it, clang, and then this is just kind of a disaster here. What happens? The ball's just all over the place. They come up with the ball, and the game is over. So what was again the point of all of this? The point of all of this was that you had LeBron James and JJ Redick come on to their podcast and say there's nothing that the Cavs could have done to win that series. They were completely outmatched. Well, I challenged Jalen and I said, I don't believe that because their games were too close. LeBron James was the best player on the court. They were missing their all-star point guard in Jameer Nelson, even though JJ Redick and LeBron James made you think that they did have him. They didn't. The first game is a 1-point game where your best player, although he scores 49 points, goes 6 of 10 from the free throw line. 6 of 10 from the free throw line. Misses one in the fourth quarter with under 2 minutes to play. And then makes that kind of play that would suggest, he made the right play because he was triple teamed. He had to pass it out. But no, he put himself into that position where he had to make that pass. So to summarize, was there anything they could have done? Yeah, Delonte West and Mo Williams could have made shots. And LeBron James could have been smarter with 14 seconds left. So next week, we're going to do game 2. Any closing thoughts? I got you, or anything else you want to talk about? We still got like 10 minutes. Anything else?
You know what? All these things I said, not really a GOAT debate, but again, all these things when you rewatch it, because again, sometimes people get so caught up in numbers and he averaged this, he averaged that. They forget what happened in the games, and when you sit back and watch, it kind of makes me rethink my top 5. With Kobe, I kind of had LeBron too, but I'm just thinking these moments Kobe capitalized on, and even if he missed, you felt confident. You felt that it might not have been the right play, but it was the best play. And just looking at it, he doesn't really want anything to do with those kind of plays. I mean, maybe if I keep watching,
I think he did. I think he did later on. And that was maybe that's the what Pat Riley and Dwayne Wade taught him in Miami. After that first finals loss, because he definitely, we can talk about 2011 later, but that's the thing is every time I'll point out stuff like this, and not just about him, I'll show Jordan had his bad moments too. Kobe definitely had his bad moments. Kareem had his bad moments. They all did. But when people say, listen, this dude is, and I appreciate you, Pluto, for this up. And they say, look, this dude's perfect. He does no wrong. He's, by far, he's the GOAT because, and I say, well, how can you say when you're 66 win team, you're the number 1 seed in the NBA, and you lose to the Magic, who were missing their starting all-star point guard, and say there was nothing that we could have done? When you lose in 2011, say, I didn't have enough help. Our team was filled with, minimum guys. They were filled with minimum vets, but they weren't minimum vets in the sense that they were players who that's what they would have got anywhere else, right? That's another lie. They were minimum vets because they wanted to play on your team with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, so they took the minimum to be on a team with you. It wasn't a bunch of minimum guys like Udonis Haslem, Ilgauskas, James Jones. Those guys aren't minimum guys. They weren't minimum guys. It's just not who they were. Ray Allen the next year is not a minimum guy. So that's the thing that kind of pushes my buttons a little bit, but specifically on this one, like you said, 30. Again, I'm quoting JJ Redick. You went 38-8. What more could you have done, LeBron? You were so outmatched. You had no chance against us. Game 1, 49 points. Nothing you could have done. Really? Make your free throws. Have your teammates. And again, I'm putting this on the entire Cavs team. Guard Rashard Lewis. You need Delonte West and Mo Williams to make shots. So they weren't completely outmatched. The Cavs had a chance. It's a game that they should have won. It's a series that they should have won. And there's enough blame to go around. It's LeBron's fault because he's the best player on the team. It's Mike Brown's fault because he's the coach of the team. It's the rest of the supporting cast fault because they didn't make their shots. Any questions before we shut it down? Triple A's having issues with his computer. Is if there's nothing else and no one else wants to jump on, I put the link in the chat. Next week, Jalen Carter will be back. Might have some surprise guests. We will watch the fourth quarter. We'll talk about game 2 of this series. And we are going to watch the fourth quarter of game 2. And I bet you're going to see a lot of the same. But now, granted, I think the Cavs win that one. But step back, buzzer beater in the chat. Absolutely, that's what they could have done. Until next time, I guess the only thing left to say is now you're more fluent.